What's going on, everyone? It's Mike. John's checking his teeth again.
I've got meat stuck in it.
What'd you say?
Got meat stuck in my tooth.
Delightful. What did you have for dinner? What meat is it?
Oh, shite. Cheeseburgers on barms with salad and chips. Thought I'll eat healthy with the salad. And then I had a big fat greasy burger with chips.
On what, John, by the way? Because I'm just adjusting. On what?
Burger on barm. Burger.
On a barm? What the fuck's a barm?
Oh, fuck off, you wool. Everyone knows who watches this channel apart from you what a barm is. A Warburton's barm.
I know what it is. It's a bat.
It's a barm.
Right, let's
Harriet's got baps. I eat barms.
Right, anyway. Right, let's talk about football, John. You know, we're not being professional. Sean Dyche's press conference.
Well, I can only go by what I've seen people post on Twitter. That again, it was monotonous. There's players on the grass. I'm not being funny. The amount of injuries we've got, I think the smoking grass, because Everton get more injuries when we don't actually play a competitive game. The players who don't go on international duty are getting injured. James Garner's out now with a back injury. Patterson, has been on the grass playing under 21 games for 4 weeks now, and he's still saying he's not ready. Now, the thing for me, Michael, is while he's got Ashley Young playing, and listen, Ashley Young's been doing okay lately, don't get me wrong, but while he's got Ashley Young there, he's not going to rush Patterson back. Now, there's rushing back, and there's absolutely mollycoddling players. Now, if he's been training for 4 weeks, surely he should be back in. You know, I'm not a lover of Patterson, but give me him over Ashley Young any day of the week. Coleman's back into contention for Saturday now. Branthwaite is hit and miss, touch and go. We seem to be picking these injuries up all the time. You know, and we're not even playing competitive games. Now, I think it's a well-known fact that there was 2 Dyche days this pre-season. Not 1, 2. He's flogging the players. He's killing the players in training, in pre-season. When we haven't got a game, he's still killing the players. Now, for me, when this manager eventually goes, we need a whole new sports science team in. We need brand new physiotherapies in. We need a new club doctor in. And we need a different training regime. Whoever this manager may come, whoever it may be, to take over from this manager needs to look at what was actually injuring these players. And please don't do it. Because again, I'll say it again, the injuries we get when we haven't played a competitive game in the last 2 weeks is shocking.
I don't know what you want to. I don't disagree.
Facts.
We've said it before, and actually going even further than that, the stats back it up. Even before he was at Everton, he used to do it at Burnley. He's done it at Watford. Every season, the team that he plays for starts slow. He hasn't won a game in August, I think you were telling me.
Well, I think he's won something like 4 games out of 40 odd games that he's managed clubs in August.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. I'm reading it now. 8 points in 72 from August.
What does that tell you? So then following on from August, we're still picking injuries up when we're not even playing games in the international break. You know, we've got Tim Ibrahimovic now. I think he's got a stress fracture of the foot. It's not days with him. It's weeks. It's weeks now. He's out.
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. And we're not the biggest, best squad in the league to be able to afford injuries to the likes of Tim and Branthwaite yet again. You know, and taking his time bringing Patterson back. As I said, there's taking time and there's taking the piss.
I love that. You should have that as a T-shirt. There's taking time, but there's taking the piss. Look, yeah, I don't disagree. There is one positive, maybe two. It looks like Vitaly Mikalenko and Jared Brantwaite. I think Jared's going to be back. I think that Paul will make a decision in 24 hours. I like to think he's just.
I don't think he plays him. I don't think he does.
Oh, mate! If he doesn't play, yeah.
We know what this manager's like. He will not rush players back.
We're just.
And Darren's another positive.
I'm looking for positives, and you're killing me. I haven't got any.
But I'm not wrong.
No. Right.
The only positive is in Dye's back. He come through. There's 30 minutes according to the manager, and he's ready to go. So that's a positive. There you go. I've give you the positive.
Brilliant. Yeah, and Dye will no doubt start for Everton. But this is Sean Dyche, so who knows? He might play somebody else. Right, looking at stats between Ipswich and Everton, I think this is a harder game than you maybe thought it might have been at the start of the season. Ipswich played really well against Aston Villa, for example, a couple of weeks ago. Got a 2-2 draw at home. Liam Delap scored a fantastic goal, absolutely fantastic goal. They looked really, really worth their draw against Villa. Villa were obviously a tough side. We know that ourselves. We went 2-0 up and lost 3-2. Do you have any concerns about us going and getting a result for this game, or do you think we'll win, or what?
We should
where's
win.
your head at?
But we should win. Ipswich haven't won a game in the Premier League since 2002. I know they've been in and out of it, and stuff like that. But they're the stats that you need to show, Michael, to the players. I know they haven't been in the Premier League since 2002, obviously. But when you look at the squads and you look at the quality that Everton do have, it's not massive quality, but certain players do have a little bit of quality. And then you look at Ipswich, they haven't won a game this season yet. It is a game that you'd like to think Everton will win. I'm not going to say it's comfortable, because Everton don't really win comfortably, whether it be against Ipswich or on the odd chance we beat Liverpool or whatever. Never really comfortable. But I'd like to think we can go to Portman Road, get on the front foot. Most of the players have had a 2-week break now. Get on the front foot, get at them. Don't let Ipswich come at us from the first whistle. That gives their crowd a lift, because we know teams like this, Michael, as soon as they, put a tackle in or create chances or get corners earlier on, it lifts the home crowd. Things like that do affect this Everton team, because mentally, this Everton team is mentally destroyed so easy. We've seen it a couple of times this season when we've been 2-0 up and got beat 3-2. It doesn't take much to turn this Everton team from being positive to being absolute negative. So we can't let Ipswich build momentum from the first whistle. It's Everton who has to start with the momentum and quieten their crowd. Get an early goal if we can. Put them on the back foot and hopefully get the 3 points that way.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I think it's interesting because Ipswich, they've almost been a bit of an unknown quantity coming up, because a lot of people were saying that we're going to go straight down. There was a lot of people commenting about, basically all three promoted teams would go straight back down, but they have shown a bit of fight. So you are right. We should go there. We should win. But they've also lost less games than us in the Premier League this season, if I'm not mistaken. I think they've lost 3. We've lost 4 out of 7. So they've lost less. Looking at this stat, they've conceded less. So they're not. Yeah, they're not.
You've also got to take into account those 2 shit shows that we had where we were 2-0 up, and we shouldn't have lost them games. We shouldn't have conceded. Obviously, Villa was a bit different because they're a good team, Villa. But you're right with what you say. Sorry to butt in, but I'm just going to carry on from what you said. They are capable of putting performances in. You quite rightly mentioned Villa. They got the draw with Villa. The first game of the season, they played that lot across the park. They give them a game in the first half. So they are capable of putting half-decent performances in, whether it be for 90 minutes or for one half of football. They're capable of putting performances in. And this is what Everton have got to stop, because we know, and as I said before, this Everton team, if you're playing someone who's very capable of putting a decent half of football in, like they did with Villa, like they did with Liverpool, that affects this Everton team mentally.
Yeah, the other one is like, so their last game, their away form is different to their home form. They're a different team at home. They look like they're capable at home. They look dire away, if I'm being honest. You know, they've just been done 4-1 by West Ham. But at home, they're a different team. And the thing that worries me about Everton in this game is the fact that whereas over the last season and the season before that, our away form has probably been better than our home form.
Yeah.
This season, it's a really I mean, we've won, but we've got 1 point away from home, and we've got 4 points at home. Albeit, we should have probably, you know, you're 2-0 up in the Premier League. We should maybe have got a result at Villa because we're 2-0 up, obviously, and we were 2-0 up against Bournemouth. Everton could quite possibly be sitting 8th right now, but we're not. We're sitting 16th. We've got this ability to capitulate, and this is what worries me. You know, we can go to Leicester and maybe go a goal up, but we'll fall apart. That's what worries me. It worries me, and especially where home games are going to be so crucial for newly promoted teams. These are the games that Everton have to win, and over the years, these are the games where we've actually bottled it. You know, when we've managed to go and get results when we haven't quite expected it. You know, these are the games where we've struggled. And
well, that's the bit that worries me. With this Everton team's mentality.
But that, again, you know, we could say as much as we want, but that does come from the manager as well. You know, it comes from the manager. But my concern is with this game, you know, without over-analysing it, without going into the players in depth, and obviously, as I say, I'm literally going through the stats and talking and trying, but the facts are there is not much between Everton and Ipswich in terms of where we are in the league, goals scored, goals conceded. It worries me. It worries me that we are, and this is not to dig at Ipswich, not at all, because they're giving it a good go in the Premier League. But we went into this season, if you remember at the start of the season, I sat here and I was optimistic. I was like, we're going to go into this, we're going to have a good pre-season. We struggled in pre-season and we've taken that into the season. And yes, we're unbeaten in 3. You know, a good point against Newcastle. You know, a good point away from home against Leicester. But these are games we have to win. And he's got 6 games now where he's got to get as many points as he physically can. And there's something eating away at me that he's saying, we're going to struggle. I don't know what it is, but I'm worried about this game.
Do you know what it is, right? And you'll probably agree with me here. Do you know when you look at Everton this season, right? We're slow starters in games. How many times this season, and probably most of last season, have you seen an Everton team come out the tunnel in the first half and from that first whistle, go at it? Get at the opposition. How many times have you seen Everton be fast starters? You could count on one hand, probably over the last 2 seasons, Michael. That's what worries me. And that's why I said before, going to Ipswich, we need to silence them. We need to start fast. But I have no confidence in this Everton team starting fast. For me, again, it's not a dig dice out video because we always seem to bring him up. But what is getting said in that dressing room before the players leave there, before they walk up that tunnel onto the pitch? Who's geeing these players up? And I've said it on here before, Michael, because it's like a broken record. How often do you see Everton come out the traps from the first whistle? So that's what's getting said. Who's geeing them up, as I say? Who's saying to them, right, from that first whistle, get into them, silence the crowd, create chances, show them they're in a game, get the first tackle in, start playing the ball around? We don't see it. Now, who is saying to these players, get out there and fucking give it a good go?
I don't know. And you're absolutely spot on. We give the ball away the moment we kick off. We go long. I did it. I think it was the Villa game. And I said, watch the two kickoffs. And you've got Villa, who got the ball and played it around themselves, didn't give the ball away. You've got Everton, go to the centre half and go diagonal. And we always lose it.
We've done it for years.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, the way Everton play, if we kick off like that, within the first 20, 30 seconds, we're on the back foot because the long ball goes straight to their centre-halves or it goes out for a throw into them. They play it around us and then they create a chance straight away and put us under pressure. You can read it like a book, the way Everton start games every week. And I guarantee you it'll happen Saturday.
So talking of the positives, though, because, I mean, this has been fairly negative, this video, but there is positives. You know, Dwight McNeil scored 3 goals and got 1 assist. Calvert-Lewin's got 2 in his first 7 games, whereas I think it took him about 29 games to score 2 goals last season. Enjoy is back. Are we being too negative? Are we sitting here slagging off the team, digging out the manager? Are we, do we win this game?
Mate, do you know if we play to the capabilities we're in patches this season when we went 2-0 up against Villa and we done it against Bournemouth, Leicester was another one. If we perform like we know we can and bring Calvert-Lewin into the game more, and Dwight McNeil is having the sort of games that we've seen him have lately, and Ndiaye is beating the opposition and going past them like they're not there and wriggling out of spaces, very tight, and then getting the ball into the midfield where we can create chances for Calvert-Lewin. If we play like that, like we have seen this season, then it is a game we can win. But we don't see that enough. If we see that on Saturday, and again, I'm going to be positive now. If we can see that on Saturday and we see enough of that with McNeil, with Ndiaye, with possibly Harrison on the other side, with Calvert-Lewin getting service. If we see that and we see what we've seen in glimpses, then I think it's a game we do win. But we haven't seen it enough.
Yeah, I was just reading the, they do that supercomputer thing, and I was just looking at where they think Everton and Ipswich will finish. And funny enough, they think Ipswich are going to finish 17th. Looking at this, if I'm reading it right, well, they think they could finish 17th, and they think Everton's best position. But I think Everton's probably average position is 16th. So they honestly think Everton and Ipswich, there's very little in them, and that is concerning. I mean, that is like, what the fucking hell is that about? I mean, I know it's a computer, and we proved these wrong last season, so I'm not worried about it. But I just think our big game players need to have a big game. I think we need more from Calvert-Lewin. Dwight McNeil's been fine. I've quite liked him in this middle. He'll pop a shot off from 30, 40 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards. He'll just shoot from anywhere. He'll carry the ball. He's the most left-footed player I've ever seen, but at least he carries it well. And we're seeing a few little skills and things from him because, as you said in the last video, when you've got a player like Ndiaye who will get people on their feet, a bum lifter, as you discussed him, you said he was. He's making the players around him play better. I agree with that. I get that. Vitaly Mykolenko coming back, I think, helped us be more solid as well on the left-hand side. I think that helps. So, yeah, I am positive that Everton can go and win this game. 100%. Yeah, I'm positive. Ask me for a score prediction. I'm going 2-1 Everton. There you go. There it is. There's the score prediction.
I go for 1-0, a tight 1-0 to Everton.
Yeah, that's fine. My team, because obviously we've got these injuries in the middle of the park. Pickford, Mykolenko, Branthwaite. I'd actually play Keane over Tarkowski, but he won't do it. So I'll go Branthwaite and Tarkowski. I'll go with Ashley Young at right back because he hasn't actually done too much wrong lately. But when's Patterson going to get a game? What's going on with Coleman? But Ashley Young started right back for me.
Coleman's
the
back in
two.
training as well.
Say again.
Coleman's back in training.
Okay.
He's
Well,
giving it a shout, but he won't play him. He'll play Young, as you say.
the two in the middle. I'll go with Mangala and I'll go with Ladrissa Garnagar because obviously we've got those two injuries. I personally don't start Decore because I think he gives the ball away more than he keeps it, but that's just my opinion. The three in front of them, Njai, McNeil, Harrison. I think you're absolutely right with what you said off camera about Lundstrom not starting. I think Harrison's done enough to give him his place. And I'll start Calvert-Lewin up front. That's simple. That team should be good enough to go and win that game of football. That's simple.
If the players we've named play to the capabilities, then I think we do win the game. But this is Everton. But I totally agree with your team, 1,000,000%.
Okay, well, that's all I've got. I haven't got anything else. There's nothing else screaming at me. I just think we need to not lose, but getting 3 points against a team that apparently we're going to be close to at the end of the season is always beneficial. So let's just go there, win the game, go back to Goodison Park, have the time of our lives, go and beat Fulham, and then go on a magical run, which results with Everton playing European football next season. It's been a pleasure as always. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button because we are going to win the lot.
You need to lay off that supercomputer, you lad.
The Red Bull gives you a win. And that's another thing, because we've got this sponsor in Red Bull, and then Jurgen Klopp's the sporting director for Red Bull. I mean, it's only a matter of time, and Jurgen Klopp managing Everton.
Don't say that too loud. A lot of England fans don't want a German managing them. So,
no, but honestly, I've never known it cause such uproar.
It's absolutely stupid, in my opinion. And there's probably people on the channel who watch us and agree with some people who are saying, "How can a German be managing England?" And I couldn't give a shite if it was Stevie Wonder managing England. To be fair.
No, I still won't watch the games.
Well, neither will Stevie Wonder because he'll be able to stay.
Really? Oh, brilliant. Right, we'll leave it there, guys. See you soon. Keep smiling. Peace.